Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Jessica Gem here with a new video for you. Welcome to Season 2, Part 3 of What If Deku Never Returned to UA. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. And so, we begin. Izuku Midoriya, Deku, the Shrouded Rabbit, floated face to face with his greatest enemy, Tomura Shigaraki. They hovered in the air, only a few feet apart, and yet it felt as if the entire world was between him and the man in front of him. As he stared into the eyes of his enemy, his mouth contorted and a wicked, vile grin stretched across his pale face. That feeling runs through Izuku's mind again, that pull to save rather than destroy. That's what One for All was made for, to save, not destroy. But the man in front of him, he's beyond it. He's gotten his answer. He doesn't need to ask why any further. Shigaraki is doing this with full volition, with full intention to kill innocent people and destroy society. He needs to do it. He needs to kill Tomura Shigaraki. The air blew thick with tension as the two prepared for battle. Below them, a world of people looking up and praying. Above them, clouds block out the sun. Darkness, grayness, it was all the same. Their world cascaded over by the will of Mother Nature. Perhaps it was to shield the stars from such a battle. Destruction, death, decay, all real possibilities with each and every move they made. He could feel his heart pounding in his chest, thumping harder and harder as he stared into the eyes of the man he must kill. He could feel the weight of the world and its people on his shoulders, their fate resting on the outcome of this battle, their lives dependent on him. He clenched his fists, feeling the familiar burn in his muscles as he prepared to use his quirk. The wind whipped through his hair and his clothes, whipping it around wildly as he focused all his energy into his fists. He could feel the power of One for All coursing through his veins, the raw energy and strength it gave him. He could see the fear and determination in Shigaraki's eyes, the knowledge that this was the end for one of them. The sound of their quirk's activation was like a thunderclap, a deafening roar that shook the ground beneath them. They lunged at each other with all their might, their fists colliding with a force that sent shockwaves rippling through the air. The impact sent Izuku flying backwards, but he quickly regained his footing and charged forward again. The two clashed in an epic battle, their quirks colliding in a dance of destruction. The ground shook beneath their feet, buildings crumbled, and the debris flew through the air as they fought. Izuku's body was a blur as he moved, his fists striking with lightning-fast precision. Each punch sent Shigaraki reeling, but the villain was relentless in his attacks, his own quirk causing destruction with every touch. The sky was dark with smoke and ash as they fought, the clouds above them churning with the energy of their battle. It felt as if the very air was alive with the power they wielded. Izuku's mind was focused solely on the task at hand, his determination to save the people below him driving him forward. He could feel the power of One for All coursing through his body, giving him strength and endurance beyond what he thought was possible. Hero! Izuku Midoriya! Shigaraki pulled back, and suddenly his arm exploded into a claw twice the size of his body. Think fast! Izuku's eyes widened as he saw the massive claw hurtling towards him. With quick thinking, he summoned all the power of One for All and unleashed a powerful smash, the force of which sent Shigaraki flying backward and his claw disintegrating into dust. But Shigaraki wasn't done yet. With fierce determination, he stood back up, his eyes glowing with sinister energy. He raised both hands and began to gather lightning, the very air around him crackling with power and electricity. Move now! With One for All surging through his body, he flew towards Shigaraki at breakneck speed. He could see the terror in the villain's eyes as he closed in, his fists glowing with fierce energy. With a deafening roar, he unleashed a smash, the impact of which blew hurricane winds through Shigaraki and blasted the ground around him into little more than dust and debris. The force of the blow sent Shigaraki hurtling through the air, his body twisting and contorting as it flew through the sky. The sound of the impact echoed through the city, causing buildings to shake and crumble. The villain's body hit the ground with a sickening thud, and for a moment, there was silence. Izuku landed on the ground, his body heaving with the effort of the battle. He could feel the blood pumping through his veins, the adrenaline coursing through his body. He looked at the still form of Shigaraki, lying motionless on the ground. He could see the destruction all around him, buildings in ruins and the ground littered with debris. But suddenly, Shigaraki's body disappeared. Through the smoke and debris, the white hair of his enemy evaporated with a snap of red electricity, and without a chance to react, he heard a deep laugh coming from behind him.
Lightning clones really come in handy when you need to bait out a big blow. All for One really does have lots of options, huh?
He feels a foot stomp on his back, but before Shigaraki can do anything else, Izuku swipes his hand up and uses the wind to push himself back and gain some distance.
This isn't going to end well for you,
Shigaraki proclaimed, laughing as he walked forward.
Just like last time. Only now, you don't have your little hero group to come and rescue you.
Izuku stood his ground, ready for whatever Shigaraki had in store for him. He knew that this battle was far from over, and he would have to use all of his skills and strength to defeat the villain once and for all. He summoned all the power of One for All and prepared to unleash a barrage of powerful smashes. Shigaraki laughed as he saw the look of determination on Izuku's face.
You think that's going to be enough? You have no idea what I'm capable of. I will not lose.
With a powerful roar, Shigaraki summoned a surge of energy and launched a massive blast at Izuku. The hero stood his ground, his body surrounded by the raw power of One for All, his eyes blazing with anger. The two forces clashed in a rocking explosion, the ground shaking beneath their feet and the air filled with a deafening roar. But through it all, Izuku stood firm, his body glowing with the power of One for All as he unleashed a final, devastating smash. The impact sent Shigaraki's body flying back, careening through the air and skidding across the ground before coming to rest. Unmoving, Izuku walked towards Shigaraki, his body still surrounded by the raw power of One for All. He looked down at the villain, his eyes filled with fierce determination. It's over. Without a second to blink, sharp and jutting tendrils dug into Izuku's shoulders and legs. He screamed as blood poured out of the open wounds. But before another blow was dealt, Izuku clenched his jaw and grabbed the red and black tendrils.
Give up!
They pushed harder against his skin.
You aren't going to win!
He hadn't wanted to do this. It was his goal to avoid calling on them, but more and more pain shot through his body, and with every second he wasted here, Shigaraki recovered his stamina. No choice. Trust them. Izuku screamed through the pain, cracking the tendrils underneath his fists. Do it! Now! Just then, a loud and urgent voice echoed through the air. Deku, get out of the way! In a split second, a rapidly spinning ball of ice hurtled towards Shigaraki, and Izuku's quick reflexes allowed him to dodge just in time. As Shigaraki was sent flying through the air, Izuku could hear his furious screams. He was relieved their plan had worked. They had brainstormed before the fight and combined their quirks to take down their enemy. To his right, Bakugo flew in panting.
That felt good.
Behind him, Todoroki carried himself and Ochako on a pillar. They both landed close as well, and they clenched their fists before smirking at their success. It had been partly his idea and partly Todoroki's. Ochako would use her quirk to float ice spikes, and Bakugo would use his explosions to launch them at high speeds. take the anti-gravity off at the last second, and it's essentially a highly effective ice cannon.
That worked better than I thought it would,
Ochako said, staring off in the direction Shigaraki was launched. Todoroki agreed. I thought for sure the ice would break, but Bakugo's gotten better at controlling his explosions. Bakugo grunted. Thank you, all of you. Izuku smiled. We almost have him. I can tell he's on the edge of being completely out of stamina. I'll be able to get in close enough to deliver the final blow. If I use everything I have left, I can finish it here. Izuku took a deep breath and focused all his energy on his quirk. He felt the power coursing through his veins. He knew that this was his chance to take down Shigaraki once and for all. Everything in him, one for all, it's all been for this one moment. The first user's voice, echoing in the back of his mind. Ninth, it's time. End my brother, once and for all. With a low voice, he looked back at his friends. Stay back. I'm ending this now. He took off at a full sprint, dodging and vaulting over the debris of the battle. Through the smoke, he could see Shigaraki trying to regain his balance up ahead. The villain was tired and battered, and Izuku could sense his fear. His red eyes looked to Izuku with worry and wonder. He stumbled back and fell to the rocky floor. For a second, only a second, Izuku hesitated. But another second and his will returned. He leapt into the air, sparks of green lightning trailing behind him, igniting the sky with electricity and snapping with a furious rage. All of the death, all of the suffering, it ended now. Not with Shigaraki's death, however, for Shigaraki was only a symptom of the larger problem, the root of it all, the cause. It ended from here on out. He'd change it. He'd change society. He'd make sure another Shigaraki will never be created. He'd never let another person, another child, become this. His fist drawn back, Deku dove toward Shigaraki. One for all surged for a final time. Burning hot energy exploded from his fist, and with a snap of his arm, he collided with his enemy. At first, nothing happened. The air fell silent. Even the wind seemed to dissipate. But then, ringing in his ears, throughout the sky, it shot out at speeds he couldn't even begin to comprehend. And, in a blinding ball of light, the world disappeared. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the content thus far. I hope you've enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to say if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, I'd like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years and older to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, farewell, and have a divine day.